Hey, what's good, crypto fam? JV back in the house with yet another crypto news alert. And what exciting times are you looking at the crypto market right now? Bitcoin continues to soar, leading the pack, currently up 9.82% in the past 24 hours. Also, I want to say congratulations to Litecoin on the successful halving. We'll talk about how that affected the crypto market. We'll be talking about Litecoin price. We'll be talking about Bitcoin price and predictions, where I believe Bitcoin is heading and where it could be by the end of this week, and a lot more. So if you find that interesting, pay very close attention to this video. All right, let's do this. Let's dive right into the news. Current Bitcoin price rally could have real legs. Duh. Are you living maybe under a rock? Well, you may be living in interesting times. I personally believe that. Amid a protracted trade war with the United States, China has this week redoubled its own antagonistic policies in response to a recent fresh tariff threats from US President Donald Trump. First, by allowing the yuan to sink to its lowest levels in almost a decade, right? And second, by demanding that all state-owned firms suspend imports of U.S. agricultural products. The bookies are meanwhile raising their bets on more interest rate cuts from the U.S. Federal Reserve as the trade war escalates. Now, we all know, as they continue to cut those interest rates, it continues to affect the economy in a negative way, which is more bullish for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, right? All this appears to be spurring Bitcoin's uptrend as an emerging safe haven, baby, asset of the digital era. The coin has today surged almost 9% to trade above 11,700 at press time. Now, as Anthony Pompliano tweeted, update, Bitcoin is performing as designed during times of global instability. And I also want you to keep in mind, Bitcoin was created after the 2008 crisis. That's when the idea came to Satoshi Nakamoto, right? To create something that would be sustainable during these horrific economic, up battles that we're currently facing. And I think Bitcoin has done a damn good job. What do you think? Bitcoin could easily continue to surpass expectations. I personally believe that. I am very bullish on Bitcoin. Here's a good article as well from CNBC, which I currently don't read too often, but I'm like, hey, these are the facts. There's no disputing it, right? Bitcoin surges past 11K while stocks plunge on trade war fears. You can see Bitcoin hitting a more than 3-week high, which is always exciting. Bitcoin soared 9% today, performing like a safe haven asset as it edged past 11K for the first time since around mid-July. The global stock markets, on the other hand, have been sliding lower on the back of renewed trade uncertainty after President Donald Trump said last week that Washington would impose 10% tariffs on another $300 billion worth of Chinese goods. Now, I actually lived in China back in 2010, 2011, so I'm a little bit familiar with the yuan. We used to also refer to as renminbi, but this is just crazy. I mean, they continue to print money. What do you expect to happen in the economy? Now check this out, yuan depreciation. Bitcoin's jump in value also comes as China allowed the yuan to break the 7 per dollar level for the first time in 11 years, triggering fears of potential currency war. And there's no doubt about it, there is a currency war going on right now. The yuan fell after China's central bank, the People's Bank of China, set the currency's daily midpoint at 6.9225 per dollar, its weakest level since December of last year. Pretty crazy and interesting times we're living in, isn't it? Trump's China traffic might have contributed to the recent Bitcoin price boost. Well, duh, right? The Chinese market is very big. I mean, you got to remember there's billions of people living in China, and Bitcoin is more affluent in countries like China than it is in the United States. And I believe that is why we're seeing such a massive incline in prices here with Bitcoin. Now check this out. The president, U.S. the president of the US, Donald Trump, imposed a new round of tariffs for China, and these tariffs might have contributed to helping Bitcoin price to increase, or so the theory goes in the crypto sphere. Tariffs on another 300 billion of Chinese imports, nearly all goods from China, will be subject to import taxes. And Trump says they generate billions of dollars in revenue from the US Treasury from China. And you can see Donald Trump replying to one of his tweets: buy agricultural product from the US in large quantities, but did not do so. Additionally, my friend President Xi said that he would stop the sale on fentanyl to the United States. This never happened, and many Americans continue to die. Trade talks are continuing, and he also says during the talks of the US will start on September 1st, putting a small additional tariff, small, right? 10% is small, on the remaining $300 billion of goods and products coming from China into our country. This does not include the $250 billion already tariffed at 25%. And Josh Rager, he wrote here in one of his posts, BTC weekly chart, and he's a great guy to follow on Twitter if you're not currently doing so. Currently, Bitcoin price is testing the resistance level, and this was obviously not of today. This was probably yesterday. Price must not break, but want to see the price above on a weekly close, which it did. Support needs to hold above the previous resistance, which it blew past and Hulk smashed, and close above 10,833 to be bullish. Well, guess what? We are beyond bullish. We are extremely bullish in the market right now, which is pretty cool. And I also want to show you, this is currently on BitMEX, which is the largest derivatives trading platform on the internet. And check it out. We have longs currently at 53%, 361 million in longs in the last 24 hours. So you can tell, it's outperforming the shorts, which is another bullish sign for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Now let's look at the Litecoin charts. You can see this morning we rose up as high as $104. Let's look August 4th. Where were we yesterday? This is pre-halving. We were at about 90 bucks, right? $95. And then it shot up to a high of 104, and then it consolidated a bit to where we're currently at, which is $101. We had a successful halving. That is good news, and the price reflection is right here. This is what it is. Now, I like to look at things from a macro perspective to better understand kind of like where we're at. So let's look at Litecoin over the last year, right? I think it had a low of, this was December 15th of 2018. Wow, it was at $23. So it started the year, let's move up to January. It started the year, let's see, January 1st at 30 bucks. So we saw Litecoin already triple in price, past $90 since January, which is a good run up considering it was trading so low. We've seen it go as high as $128, consolidate, and now we just had a successful halving. And it is what it is. This is where the Bitcoin, this is where the Litecoin price is currently at. So if you're planning on trading Litecoin for Bitcoin, when's the best time to do so? Well, maybe at that high, which was back here, but we're no longer in that time. The Bitcoin dominance continues to rise, and what happens when Bitcoin dominance rise, the alts continue to bleed. And if you look at any of the altcoins, it's just a crazy time to be. It's far from alt season. It's the complete opposite right now. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin charts. As you can see right here, currently trading at $11,800. If we take a look back just to share some perspective of where we are, where we've been, and you can see some of the EMA resistance levels, support lines as well. And so let's take a look. So this was August 5th. Wow, this is August 4th. Okay, this is all August 4th. So August 4th, we're trading at under 11,000. Then we broke out, which is actually right here, to over 11,000, a strong resistance level, which is 11,100, and we've just been continuing to rise on this upswing. So things are looking extremely bullish for Bitcoin right now. We had a few dips, but it just rises right back. We had another dip, rises right back, and we're having higher lows, which is definitely a good sign on where we're heading. Now, my personal prediction, I believe Bitcoin is going to continue to rise throughout the week. I also want to stress, I am not a financial advisor. This is just my opinions. I'm just a regular dude who's passionate about cryptocurrency. If you're going to trade, take responsibility for yourself. I'm not responsible for any losses you may incur based upon listening to this video. But with getting that out of the way, I do firmly believe we're going to continue to rise. I do not know if we're going to hit Max Kaiser's prediction of 15,000 by the end of this week, but hey, if it happened, I'd be ecstatic, right? I do believe now that the Bitcoin halving is occurring and we're approaching it in May of 2020, which is only 9 months out. Yesterday, I did a breakdown on the Bitcoin halving. We did analysis. We looked at the previous cycles from 2012 and 2016 so we can better predict what may occur and result in 2020. And in 2012, we saw Bitcoin 400x as a result of the halving. In 2016, we saw Bitcoin 90x as a result of the halving. So I would not be surprised that we continue to see Bitcoin rise in this bull market leading up to the halving, and then after the halving takes place, I believe things are going to get parabolic. I do believe we will reach a new all-time high that will dwarf the previous all-time high of 2017. But hey, those are my opinions. I would love to know yours. Drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think is going to happen to the Bitcoin price, especially being affected by the halving, because we're in the cycle. Bitcoin price is affected before the halving and after the halving, and I think we're seeing effects of that take place, as you can see in this bullish crypto market. I appreciate you tuning in. The biggest compliment you can give me if you got value out of this video is just hit that subscribe button, drop me a comment. I appreciate you and looking forward to seeing you in the next video.